Alright guys, let's talk about Christine, another John Carpenter movie that I've seen before and enjoyed the first time, but I didn't love it the first time I've seen it, and I think this is only the second time I've seen this in full. I've seen a lot of it on TV throughout the years, but a couple of years ago I watched it for the first time in full, and I just rewatched it again, and honestly, watching this one again, I really love this one. It's one of those movies where I had to watch it again to really get that solidification of like really loving it, as opposed to thinking, oh, it was fine, like I did in the first time I watched it all the way through. I really liked with this movie. I really love the fact that it immediately makes me think, like whenever I hear Bad to the Bone, I always think of this movie. It's just always been a thing where Bad to the Bone is so connected to this movie that every time I hear that song, I think of Christine, and I really love that this movie has that, and nobody talks about that song being used in here to connect to it whenever, like, it's one of those songs in a movie that I hear every time I hear it. I think in the movie, and it's really cool. I really appreciate that, and I really think that it's a perfect song for this movie. I think it works very, very well. Now, the basic plot of this, if you don't know Christine, which I feel like if you're a fan of horror or movies in general, I bet you know what Christine is. It's about this guy named Arnie, who is a sympathetic 80s nerd character, who gets a Plymouth Fury, and a 57 Plymouth Fury, and names it Christine. And he's a character that you root for and you feel bad for, and you feel bad for him and feel sympathy for him because he's the geeky kid in high school that gets beat around by bullies, which these bullies are ridiculous. They're ridiculous bullies in this movie, but they're fun. And I like the fact that you really do care for this character because, again, he's a character that's just such a geek, and you feel such sympathy for him. But also his parents are so controlling in the fact that he can't do anything without their permission at all, and I really like whenever he breaks and like tells them to not, like, he's not going to do it anymore, and it's because of the influence of Christine. But I really do like that even though Christine is an evil being, I like that it makes him stand up to his parents regardless of if Christine is evil or not. I think that's pretty cool. So I really like that a lot. And again, you just feel bad for him. Like, there's a scene where he's talking to his friend, and like he says he's ugly, and then his friend's like, "You're not ugly, don't say that." And like, it gets a lot of character moments that I think are kind of underrated in this, where you do kind of feel bad for him. So I really do appreciate that. And I also like that he gets the Plymouth Fury from Robert's Blossom. That's pretty cool. He's the brother of the guy who had Christine before that, before Arnie gets him. Really, really cool. Now, the car in this is very creepy the way it's shot, and actually really effective. I love how this car is just the most, like, it's literally like an evil, like, girlfriend to him, or like a killer girlfriend, where like this car will murder anybody that gets in between him and Arnie, or her and Arnie. I thought that was pretty awesome. And I like how he gets entranced by the car, ignoring his girlfriend and Dennis, his friend, and his family. I think that really is just such a cool way that the car influences him and does all these, is just so creepy and such an effective thing for a car. Like, you wouldn't think a car is very scary, but this movie does it very well. And again, it's directed by Carpenter, who, of course, for the most part, with almost all the movies I've seen of his, he does a great job at building suspense and building creepiness, genuine creepiness, and this one has genuine creepiness in it. And I love how Christine also plays classical music from like the 50s or the 40s, whatever time period that was from, and it is really creepy and effective, and in a way where, like, of course it's already going to sound creepy because it's old style music, but I think that it works way more with a creepy car playing this. That's so awesome. And the score is so underrated too. It is just really a fantastic score, and I love the fact that it is underrated, and it is actually genuinely really well done, and it's one that nobody talks about when they think of Carpenter movies, and I really wish that this one would get more recognition, and on the movie on its own, but also for its score, because the score is just so well done. Really love that. And then the scene where the guy is getting chased down in the alley by Christine is a fantastic score and a fantastic moment. Like, really, really incredibly well done. Just really love how John Carpenter and Alan Howarth collaborated again after doing the Halloween 2 and 3. That's really cool. Speaking of Halloween 3, they even have a Halloween 3 sound effect. Whenever Christine's lights come on, it's the noise of whenever the androids appear. That's really, really cool, and I really love that. I thought that was such a cool use of that in the movie. The last act of the movie, I think, is really where I really enjoyed the movie overall, but the last act, I think, is awesome. I think the way that you have this chase with Christine in this big, like, garage, and it's just so well done with Arnie being at the point of no return, and the fact that Arnie gets killed, like, you feel so bad because it's like this nerdy kid, like, he died for no reason because he was possessed by Christine, and then Dennis and his girlfriend get out of it alive, and Harry Dean Stanton, and it's so sad, but I liked how that made me feel at the end, because it gave a feeling of like, man, that sucks that Arnie's gone. Like, that sucks that this kid who's just kind of depressing and sad, like, gets killed and doesn't get the rest of his life. That's unfortunate. But I really love the last act. The last act is really fantastic. And I love how it even has like the last second of the movie, it shows Christine moving again after it's crushed into like a box, but we didn't get a sequel to this, and I do appreciate the fact that even though we didn't get a sequel to this, it's like Christine still lives on, so the evil still lives on. I think that's creepy, and that's cool. We didn't get a sequel, even though a sequel would be kind of cool as well. But I like that we didn't. So then we get that ambiguity of, oh, where is Christine nowadays, in 2019? Like, what's she been doing now? Has she been possessing other boys and killing other people? Like, that, like, I like when it's ambiguous like that, where you just think like, oh, this could be like what's happening nowadays, since there was no sequel to this. And I don't know if there was entirely an idea for a sequel, or if that was just from the book where it moves at the end, or they just wanted to do that, because the original Halloween did that too, John Carpenter's Halloween as well, where it's ambiguous at the end, even though we have all the sequels. So, and Carpenter, I think, has done that in other movies too, where like he has an ending where it could continue, but it's ambiguous. So, but the other ones really don't get sequels besides Halloween, from his movies. Oh, and I guess Escape from New York got Escape from LA, but still. But yeah, overall, this one, Christine, I really, really enjoyed on rewatch. This one was really fun. Really liked all the characters, really liked the thrills, the suspense, the score. The acting is great. The guy who plays Arnie's great. The girlfriend's great. The guy who plays Dennis is great. Harry Dean Stanton is great. Robert's Blossom is great, even though it's in one scene. It really is it's an underrated horror movie that I didn't give that much thought to when I first watched it, but rewatching it again, I really, really enjoyed the hell out of it. This was a really solid, great Carpenter movie, and it's one that I feel like if I had to rank the Carpenter movies after I watch them all, because I think we got like 4 more I need to see that are the most obscure ones that I haven't seen of his. After I watch all those, I wonder how I'm going to rank the Carpenter movie, because I feel like Christine would be pretty high, honestly, because I really did enjoy Christine again. So, we'll see whenever I eventually rank the Carpenter movies, but as of now, Christine was awesome. I really did enjoy it, so that's my review on Christine. Tell me down below what you think of Christine. I want to have conversations with you guys, and if you like this video, subscribe. I've got a lot more coming up, especially horror, or any kind of movie. So thank you guys so much for watching.